Have you ever, really stopped to ask yourself who you are? I mean, beyond the usual stuff.
Yeah, beyond your name, your job, where you live,
Yeah.
all that surface level identification.
Exactly. We want to dig down a bit deeper in this deep dive into the core essence of you.
Because truly getting that, understanding who you are deep down, well, that seems to be the foundation for everything else, doesn't it?
It really does. Success, happiness, that sense of fulfillment, we're all kind of looking for.
And it's interesting, you see so many people looking outside themselves for answers.
Oh, definitely. The self-help world is full of it, right?
Yes.
Seminars, books, speakers, all promising some external secret.
Like the answer is always out there somewhere, just waiting to be found.
But figures like Bob Proctor really challenge that, don't they? He pointed out that maybe that external search is, well, a bit misguided.
Right. The big shifts, the real transformation, it doesn't come from finding something new out there. It comes from discovering something within.
Proctor often mentioned his mentor's advice, something like, if you don't like your results, you have to change you.
Yeah, you've got to find out something about yourself because your results are just reflecting who you are.
It sounds so simple when you put it like that. Almost obvious, maybe.
It does, but profound. Your external world, your finances, relationships, health, it's basically a mirror.
A mirror of your inner world. So the most important journey is inwards.
Exactly. But then, okay, what does knowing yourself actually mean?
Good question. Because if you ask most people, they'll give you their name. I'm Jake.
I'm Emma, or their job, maybe their age. But is your name who you are?
Is it? Or is it just a label, a convenient tag? Bob Proctor wasn't fundamentally Bob Proctor, right? That wasn't his core essence.
And what about our bodies? People say, this is me, but again, is your body the whole story?
Think about how we talk. My hand, my leg, my body, it's like my car or my house.
That little word my, it implies possession, ownership.
So, if you possess your body and your name, then who is the you doing the possessing?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Who are we beyond these surface things?
And the exciting part is, if you genuinely seek that answer, you can find it.
The understanding, shared by many great thinkers, is that we're kind of multi-layered beings.
Right, spiritual beings,
Yeah.
fundamentally, that non-physical part of us.
And we have an intellect, our ability to think, reason, imagine.
And we live in a physical body. That's our vehicle for interacting with this physical world.
Spiritual being, intellect, physical body. But here's the catch. Many of us lose sight of the first two.
We get totally absorbed in the physical, right? What we can see, touch, measure.
Exactly. And when that happens, we tend to let external things control us. Circumstances, other people's opinions, the news.
The economy, whatever's happening out there.
Yeah, and the stats suggest something like, 95% of people are primarily reacting to life.
Just bouncing off events instead of consciously creating their own way forward. Like being swept along by the current.
And that lack of self-awareness, being controlled by the outside, that's a massive roadblock to real success.
Definitely. But then we need to be clear on what success even is. It's not just about money, is it?
Not at all. Earl Nightingale had a fantastic definition. He said, success is knowing where you are, knowing where you're going, and then progressively moving in that direction.
The progressive realization of a worthy ideal. I love that.
Me too. So anyone with a clear goal, a vision they care about, who's taking steps towards it, that's a successful person.
Regardless of their bank balance at that exact moment.
Precisely. Think of someone like Mother Teresa. Huge success, but not measured in dollars.
So if that's success, what stops most people? You mentioned barriers.
Right. It seems like there are two big ones. The first one is our conditioning.
Okay, explain that. What's conditioning?
It's all the subconscious programming we absorb, especially when we're very young. Beliefs, habits, attitude.
From parents, family, society.
Yeah.
Before our conscious mind can really filter it.
Exactly. We're like sponges. That's how we learn language so fast. But we also soak up limiting ideas.
Like money's hard to come by, or I'm not good at math, or whatever it is.
Yeah, those things sink deep into the subconscious and form our paradigm, our sort of hidden operating system.
And that paradigm controls what, like 95% of our behavior? Habitual stuff?
That's the figure often quoted. It runs us on autopilot, mostly without us even realizing it.
Wow. Okay, so conditioning is barrier one. What's the second?
The second is our environment, which is, closely linked to conditioning.
How so?
Well, we're social creatures. We have this strong urge to fit in, to conform to the group around us.
We look at what others are doing and kind of just follow along.
Pretty much. But think about it. If you look at the results most people get, especially financially, after decades of work,
Yeah.
even in wealthy countries, a huge percentage, maybe 95% again, don't achieve real financial independence. They struggle.
So just following the crowd probably won't lead you somewhere different.
It's unlikely, right? If 95% are ending up in one place, doing what they do will likely land you there too.
That sounds a bit grim, but I guess the point is you can choose differently.
Exactly. It's actually empowering. But it means recognizing that conformity isn't the path to uncommon results. You need to think for yourself.
Break away from the herd mentality a bit.
Yeah. So many people just kind of fall into line, adopt the standard practices in their field, and never really question it.
It takes courage to think differently, I suppose. We want to belong.
We do. But we're not meant to be just carbon copies. We are unique thoughts, talents, perspectives.
Look at the great innovators, Emerson, Edison, people like that. They definitely didn't just follow the crowd.
Not a chance. They thought differently. They had to.
Okay, so how do we start breaking free? How do we begin this self-discovery journey? What did Proctor find worked?
Well, interestingly, his initial drive was money. He thought money was the answer to everything.
A common belief.
Very. But even after he made money, the underlying problems didn't magically disappear.
So the money wasn't the real fix?
No. He realized the real solutions came from understanding himself better. And the place to study yourself, well, it's right inside you.
The laboratory is within.
Exactly. So he started this intense study of the mind, how it works, who he really was.
And what was a key takeaway for him?
A huge one was realizing that the most important part of him, of us, is non-physical.
Our spirit, our mind.
Yes. The physical body is just the instrument we use to navigate the physical world. It's vital, but it's not the core of who we are.
And that applies to everyone.
Everyone. So the real focus should be on understanding that non-physical mind. Because everything starts there.
With a thought.
With a thought. We tune into thoughts, we build pictures in our mind, our imagination. That's where the creative power lies.
So if you can create a clear image in your non-physical mind.
You have the power to bring it into physical reality. That's the principle.
So thinking rich, and rich in the broadest sense, health, relationships, peace, not just cash.
Right. That thinking is the starting point. And the very first practical step is getting crystal clear on what you actually want.
Define it specifically. If it's money, okay, how much?
Exactly. Napoleon Hill hammered this home in Think and Grow Rich, didn't he? Write down your specific goal. Put it on a card.
Read it often. Keep it front of mind.
Yep. And then, almost guaranteed, your mind will start throwing up roadblocks.
Oh yeah, the but thoughts.
Yeah.
You can't do that because...
You're not smart enough, it's impossible, the economy's bad, all that chatter.
What do?
That's where your conscious choice comes in. You have the power, your will, to reject those negative thoughts.
Actively push them aside.
Yes, and deliberately focus your mental energy on how you can achieve it. Ask empowering questions.
If you persist with that focus,
The way forward will start to appear, ideas will come, opportunities will show up.
it requires faith and persistence then.
Absolutely. And Proctor always recommended studying empowering material, not just reading, but studying.
Books like Think and Grow Rich, or maybe Dr. Joseph Murphy's Power of Your Subconscious Mind.
Those are classics he mentioned often, and learn from people who've already achieved what you want to achieve.
Makes sense. Model success. He apparently reread Think and Grow Rich for, decades?
Yeah, constantly. He used to say you don't find something new in the book each time, you find something new in yourself.
That's a great way to put it. Your own understanding deepens.
And Napoleon Hill talked about the missing link in education. It wasn't just about acquiring knowledge.
It was about organizing it and using it, right?
Exactly. The word education itself comes from educo in Latin, meaning to draw out from within.
So a truly educated person isn't just full of facts.
No, it's someone who knows how to use their mind to get whatever they want in life. Ethically, of course.
That's a powerful definition of education. It implies we have untapped potential within us.
Huge potential. We limit ourselves mentally, far more than physically. Learning should be lifelong.
Proctor used an example, didn't he? Like getting students to visualize their ideal report card before the year starts.
Yeah, focusing on the result they want and the strategies to get there, not just the potential struggles.
Some might call that fantasy, but...
But is it? Every great achievement started as an idea, a fantasy in someone's mind. Edison's light bulb going to the moon.
Good point. It aligns with how success actually happens.
And tied into all this, absolutely crucial, is attitude.
The old saying, attitude is everything. Why is it so critical?
Because it's how you think, feel, and act. It's the filter for your whole experience. And you always have a choice.
How so?
Well, think about the law of polarity. Everything has an opposite. Hot, cold, up, down, positive, negative.
Okay.
For any situation, you can consciously choose to focus on the positive aspects or the negative ones.
So a winning attitude means actively looking for the good.
Yes. Consciously choosing the positive perspective, even when things seem difficult, like say your car breaks down.
Yeah, that feels pretty negative.
Initially, maybe, but you could choose to see it as, I don't know, a chance for an unexpected conversation, or maybe it prevents you from being somewhere worse. You look for the potential upside.
You control your reaction.
Yeah.
Like losing a job. You can focus on the loss or
see it as a push towards something better. If you consistently think, I'll find an even better opportunity, your mind starts working on that frequency.
and you attract ideas, people, resources to help make that happen.
That's the idea. Mastering your attitude, understanding how your conscious thoughts influence your subconscious feelings and actions, it's fundamental.
It really should be taught in schools, shouldn't it?
Absolutely. And closely related to attitude is another huge piece, self-image.
Ah, yes, the work of Dr. Maxwell Maltz, psychocybernetics.
Exactly. He was a plastic surgeon who noticed something fascinating. Sometimes changing someone's physical appearance led to huge psychological shifts.
But not always.
Right. Which led him to realize we all have this internal self-image, the subconscious blueprint of who we think we are and what we're capable of.
And that blueprint kind of controls our results, like a thermostat setting for our life.
That's a great analogy. It dictates the boundaries of what we allow ourselves to achieve or experience.
And the problem is, many people have a limited self-image.
Often due to that lack of self-knowledge we talked about and maybe negative conditioning.
You see it in behavior sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Avoiding eye contact, being afraid to ask for what they want, not going for big goals.
All potential signs of a self-image that doesn't match their true potential. And sadly, sometimes our upbringing or schooling can reinforce that.
Focusing on mistakes, low grades, maybe IQ tests that label people.
Yeah, implying intelligence is fixed or that you're just average. But that's often based on false ideas. We need encouragement, focus on potential.
So how can someone listening right now start improving their self-image? Is there a practical step?
Definitely. A powerful technique is visualization, combined with affirmation. Find a quiet place, relax. Close your eyes and really see yourself as the person you want to become. See yourself living your ideal life, confident, successful, healthy, interacting positively.
Build a clear mental movie.
Yes, really feel it. Then, the next step is crucial. Write it down. Describe that ideal self in the present tense, as if it's already true.
So not, I will be confident, but
I am so happy and grateful now that I see myself as confident, capable, and successful. Describe the person you visualize.
okay, write it down. Then what?
Read it every day, multiple times a day. Read it with feeling, with belief, with conviction.
Even if it feels a bit fake at first.
Especially then, persist. William James said, believe, and your belief will create the fact. You're reprogramming your subconscious blueprint.
Proctor saw this work time and time again, didn't he? People actually changing their personalities by changing their self-perception.
Countless times, because ultimately thoughts control feelings.
Feelings control actions.
And actions create results. And the most empowering part, you can control your thoughts.
But it takes conscious effort because we tend to react automatically, right?
We do. Bad news comes on, someone says something negative, the economy looks shaky, and we instantly adopt those negative thoughts and feelings.
Which then limits our actions and reinforces the negative results.
The sequel.
A feedback loop. So the key is to engage your conscious mind, your reasoning factor.
How do you mean?
When an idea comes in from the news, from someone else, even from your own habitual thinking, stop and question it.
Ask yourself.
Will believing this help me get where I want to go? Does this support the positive, successful self-image I'm building?
And if the answer is no?
Consciously reject it. Don't entertain it. Don't let it plant itself in your mind. Choose thoughts that align with your goals and your desired self.
That's real mental discipline.
It is, but it's where your power lies.
So, wrapping up our deep dive today, wow, we've covered a lot. Knowing yourself from the inside, the barriers of conditioning and environment.
The real meaning of success, the sheer power of our thoughts, the importance of attitude, and building that strong self-image. It really is a journey, isn't it? Discovering who you truly are, it takes effort, persistence.
But it's probably the most rewarding adventure you can undertake. It leads to a life that feels purposeful, fulfilling.
So for everyone listening, maybe take a moment. What was the one idea today that really clicked for you?
Yeah, what resonated most? And maybe what's one small step you could take, starting today, towards knowing yourself better or improving that self-image?
We'd genuinely love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below, share what clicked or what step you're committing to.
Let us know you're on this journey. Maybe comment, "I'm ready to grow," or "I will discover my true self."
We do read them. And
Yeah.
just remember, you are so much more powerful than you probably believe right now.
Absolutely. Ask yourself that big question, who am I really? And then just listen.
Thank you so much for tuning in and spending this time with us. Keep thinking, keep growing.
And keep shining your unique light.